So Melania's hawking a book right now, and she just did an interview with Fox News' Maria Bartiromo, where she recounts this pretty disturbing story. Take a listen.
You write some things in the book that I didn't know. Your bank canceling your account. You know, there's pushback from so many areas of your life that you never saw before. But suddenly, the powers that be wanted to cancel you. What happened and how did that feel?
It happened already in the White House, and soon he announced for politics, but later on, more when we left the White House, when I established my own business. As you said, the bank suddenly informed me they will not be able to do business with me anymore. Also, I had very prominent email distribution service provider just rapidly terminated my agreement. So suddenly, as well as the university, I was all agreed that they will accept my donations for the foster students, and because of the board directors, they called back, they found out that it was me, they didn't, they said we cannot go on. And it's very, very sad because who suffered? They were children from foster community. They didn't have a scholarship that somebody will provide for them. They didn't want to do business with me because of political affiliation, my political beliefs. And you know, that was one of them, one of the canceling project.
So my first response to this was, what the actual banks and email service providers cut her and her organizations off because she's affiliated with Trump? Is that really where we're headed? How dystopian is that? I don't want my email. I wish she'd said which companies, because I would try to never use them. I don't want email companies deciding which people are too problematic to send emails. What? That is not your role. That is not what anyone as customers or consumers entrusted you with, the power to decide which people are too problematic for society. Absolutely not. Fuck off and go code some emails. That's your job. Stick to that. Same way with banks. Your job is to manage our money and protect our money and be responsible and understand the finances and investments and all sorts of stuff. It is not to speech police. It is not to thought police the American public. And I don't know who gave you the audacity to decide that you're going to cut people off from banking systems if you think they're offensive or whatever. But boy, I hope it gets out. I hope she names what bank that is, because they deserve all the public repercussions that are coming their way for that wild decision. But the worst of all of this is the story that Melania tells about how she wanted to fund a scholarship program for people who were in foster homes growing up and then wanted to get skills and training in like a college-like type program. But the university doing it said no because it came from her, a Trump. They passed up massive amounts of scholarship money from a donation, and I was actually able to confirm this with old reporting from the New York Times, that she offered to make anonymously, and they still rejected it because she's a Trump and whatever. She's affiliated with Donald. They really said, them kids, it's more important to virtue signal and own the Republicans than to fund a scholarship program for foster youth. Y'all, that might just be the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome. And y'all know I'm not a supporter, I'm not a fan, but that might be the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome I've ever seen in my life. Your brain has to be so broken by partisanship and tribalism to even entertain, to even have the thought to do that pop into your head. You gotta be just completely warped. MSNBC has rotted your brain to the core. I couldn't confirm whether this was the exact incident that Melania is talking about here, or whether it's just something similar that also happened, but here's reporting from the New York Times in 2022. An Oklahoma school that specializes in teaching advanced computer science skills has rejected an offered donation by Melania Trump, who said on Friday that politics got in the way of my mission to support children. Mrs. Trump disclosed the clash with the school in a statement defending her charitable fundraising efforts. Then she left the White House, which she has said are focused on supporting foster children. Mrs. Trump did not name the school that she said rejected her donation, noting only that it was a computer science school founded in Silicon Valley with a campus in Oklahoma. That fits the description of an organization known as Holberton School, a San Francisco-based education company that has more than 30 schools around the world that specialize in computer science training as an alternative to traditional college for students who want to be software engineers. It opened a location in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2020. Mrs. Trump said that she had offered to make the donation anonymously with the money intended to support scholarships. But they still wouldn't accept money for scholarships for kids from foster care to get a college-like education in computer science because it came from Melania Trump. It was made clear to me that the school's board of directors organized a politically motivated decision, Mrs. Trump said in her statement, which was posted on her website. Obviously, I was disappointed but not surprised. This is not the first time where politics got in the way of my mission to support children. So like I said, I don't know for sure whether this is the incident Melania was referencing in this interview or whether it's happened twice. I hope it's actually the former and not the latter, but I can't say I would be surprised either way at this point. I think intolerance is breaking our brains in America. We have to be able to live and coexist and work and get along with and collaborate with people who differ from us politically and not write them all off as evil, as if they're some second coming of Hitler or something, and so much so that we can't even accept an anonymous donation from them to help foster youth. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Something here is broken, and America can't continue like this. This is just one small example, and Melania Trump will be fine, but those kids who would have been helped, they may not be. And more importantly, this kind of sentiment, if it continues to pervade throughout our society and infect people's minds, it will eventually break us apart. It really will. This madness just can't continue. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments.